Day 3 of the America's Cup. And we're still all tied up. 3 each. Absolutely incredible racing. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli took race 5. Emirates Team New Zealand took race 6. And so here we are going into day 4, and it's still all to play for in the 36th edition of the America's Cup. My name's Nick Douglas. Welcome to the AC Chat and Wrap Show. Lovely to have you here with us. Far out. So I did say that one team would have to break serve to make it more entertaining. So today they both went out and broke serve, aka one from the starboard side. How was that done? Well, we saw Emirates Team New Zealand fall off their foils along with Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli in the start of race 5. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli managed to get up on their foils earlier and off they went. And it was very similar in race 6, but reversed. Completely reversed. So race 1 and race 2 were basically the reverse of race 3 and race 4. And then today we saw a reverse of race 5 and 6. It was amazing and a completely different day to what we have seen for the past 2. So I think we'll start from the very beginning. Let's start from the very beginning. Yeah, I'm singing. It's gotten to that point. So, of course, it was an incredible day on the water for the spectators as well. Apparently record-breaking spectator numbers, which is just fantastic. But we have our own footage from in the village before boats docked out as well. And I'm so thankful to our amazing sailor girls that are on the ground and keeping us all posted with what is happening. And a big shout out to Sue Bunce. She sent us some crackers today. You will have seen on Facebook the one from Tour of Steinlager docking out and just how busy the viaduct was. But here is Emirates Team New Zealand docking out this morning. Look at all the people. So fantastic. So many crowds. Here's a little bit more of a look at some of the crowd up close. And
we'll fly the plane, you fly the boat.
The Navy get involved as well. The Air Force. And here is that same shot from a different angle, but of Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli heading out to the racetrack. And then as they got towed out to the start there, you heard the commander say, "You sail the boat, we'll fly the planes." Shout out again to Sue Bunce for this amazing footage. For those who don't know, this is the 757 and Blair Tuke's uncle Ian Tuke was flying that plane, which is pretty cool. But this is definitely of national importance when we're talking about the Kiwis and just what they have to play for here. The whole country is involved with them having this at home. So can you imagine the pressure, basically, that they're feeling right now? I really can't imagine the pressure. It must be absolutely massive. And I asked a question to that effect. So you'll see that a little bit later at the press conference. But let's keep moving through the day. I'm going to just keep collaging all of this footage together. It's actually quite crazy how much footage we have from today. So straight into race 5, which was the first race today. Here we go. Massive spectator fleet, as you can see. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli entered from starboard. Emirates from port. They got across to that right-hand side. Couldn't get up on their foils in time and had to tack. They couldn't lay the pin.
Good there. 2, 1, all yours. No problem with him.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli led from there to finish by some margin. So the full report, if you want to see all of the details, including the angles of the course, the length of the legs, and everything down to all of the deltas, that is on my website, www.sailorgirlhq. But if you prefer to just get in touch with the summary, then we have that for you too. Race 6. Looks familiar, but reversed. Well, not really. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli still down to leeward. They thought that leading back situation was going to be strong as it was in race 5. It wasn't. They got stuck in a big hole. You can see here Emirates Team New Zealand foiling. Winding up.
Clear start.
Clear start. And they led from there. Again, to win by some margin. Actually, a massive margin. Can I just say that Emirates Team New Zealand are so fast. I don't have any of the race statistics for you today, but from my eyes, and I think we all felt the same, Emirates Team New Zealand, once they got in front, they just continued to extend. It was actually incredibly interesting to watch. And Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli did a fantastic job in race 5 to stay in between Emirates and the mark, which meant that they couldn't get past, but Emirates Team New Zealand just dominated that second race as well, always with a click of speed, even when they were behind today. So it's going to be interesting tomorrow, similar conditions, and we'll get into that in a second as well. So let's move into the post-race action, and I have some special things for you, including foils up close. So stay tuned. Right, here we go. Oh, actually, do you want to see a little sneaky picture of me watching the America's Cup? Look, here's me. This is me in my setup. I have KO in Australia up on my big screen, and then I have the port camera on my port side, the starboard camera on my starboard side, have Twitter in front of me so that I can tweet to all you guys, and then I have Clubhouse on one of my phones and Facebook on my other phone. So that's how I watch. Here's me in action watching the racing. Oh my gosh. This is race 5. Okay, Prada's up. Prada's on the foils. 30 seconds to go. Prada's popped up on the foils. Ooh, 25 seconds to go. Yep, that's me. Definitely an America's Cup diehard right there in the flesh. Still in the same clothes. Yeah, it was a fun day, actually. I think I've worked out the perfect way to watch, and that is with 6 screens. But it means that I can keep you guys posted on what I'm doing too. And I was commentating there to Clubhouse. So if you have the Clubhouse app, we've got a room going at the moment, and we're having, during racing, we have a great old chat while it's happening, which is just fantastic. So let's go to the post-race action I think we will do. This is from Sue Bunce as well. Here is basically the reaction in the village when Emirates Team New Zealand took race 6 and levelled the scores again at 3-3. It is of national importance. Check out these crowds. This was for the dock-off. And this was post docking in. Absolutely crazy. Can you even imagine a crowd like that? Look at that. It's amazing. I'm loving it. That is just fantastic. So that was basically the reaction in the village. But then we have a bit of footage, the docking in here. Here come the teams. And again, plenty of support for both sides. There are the scores for you as well. Look at that, 3 each. I love that. Fantastic to see. Now here is a little bit more of the dock-in action for you. Thanks to Sue. It's like a massive party in the viaduct at all times right now. Listen to that music. There they are. And that's Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. It's pumping. And then we move on to them craning out. Listen to the music. So loud. Look at those foils. We might have to zoom in. There we go. Party time. Now, the party boat that we've been tracking, everybody, you will see them in a minute. Don't worry. We've got tabs on them. Here is Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli getting craned out. We'll have a close-up of them in just 1 second. In fact, we might go a bit closer now. Here is Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli having a bath. Stand by for a guest appearance from the party boat. This is literally, the music in the viaduct is coming from that boat. They're on fire. That's the same boat as yesterday that was still going into the night, which is just fantastic. Now, some amazing shots here. I'm going to show you these shots of the foils up close. And again, a massive thanks to Sue Bunce for getting these for us. Here they are. So this is pretty much a foot away from the foils, guys. This is basically as close as you can get. Unbelievable. I'll just bring in the next shot for you just so you get plenty of time to have a bit of a look. They're magic, aren't they? I'm checking them out too. Look at the little flick on the red tip here. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's actually quite gorgeous. Here's that tip in close up. I'll just zoom right in on it for you. So yeah, pretty incredible, and a massive thanks to Sue Bunce for these shots and all of that party vision as well, so that we could be involved with what's going on in the village as well. How cool is that? Alan Hoppings just asked me why I'm not in the village in New Zealand myself. Well, no, the borders are still shut. I can't get there from Australia, so I've been doing all of this reporting remotely. So I'm glad you're enjoying these images. Now, see this crowd? This is because Rod Stewart was meant to be in New Zealand as well, but he couldn't make it. So here's what ended up happening in the village this afternoon. This is why there's a massive
and
crowd.
join in on this one, which I'm sure you know. I am sailing. I am sailing home again across the sea.
This is the village.
I am sailing stormy waters. To be near you, to be free. I am flying, like a bird across the sky. I am flying, passing high clouds to be near you, to be free. Can you hear me?
So there you go. I think we'll cut that there, but you can see the entirety of it on the America's Cup Facebook page and YouTube channels, but that is also why there was such a massive crowd and you got to see the party boat in there as well. Let's be clear, that was the important bit. Just kidding. But fantastic day on the water, as we all know, 3 each. Let's have a little bit of a listen to Peter Burling after racing, just what he had to say to start with. Stay tuned. I actually asked a question at the press conference today.
Well, I think it's just incredible seeing how many Kiwis have got out there today. You know, you've had numbers of over 2,000 boats out on the water. You know, it's amazing to be back in a level 1 situation with, you know, no COVID cases in the community. You know, seeing the race village full, you know, it's pretty cool for us as a group to be able to go and you know, respect that by going to the Dockout show as one big group today, which was, you know, pretty cool as well. But you know, I think even when we're, you know, towing out just past everyone and everyone cheering and waving is pretty incredible. You know, you don't get these opportunities to race at home in an event this big very often. So yeah, everyone on our team's just really enjoying it. Yeah, well, we're all wanting to go out there and try and win yacht races, and you know, definitely the last 2 days we haven't got off to the best start. You know, today we felt like we're in not a bad position out of the manoeuvre at the bottom of the pre-start box, but then, you know, couldn't quite keep on the foils and keep to a strong windward. You know, it's pretty nice to be able to bounce back in the second one, and felt like the roles were pretty reversed in how we went off the line there. Yeah, but I think we're just learning all the time. You know, Josh probably summed it up pretty nicely in the press conference that, you know, we feel like we're getting better and better all the time. You know, we've raced, 6 races now in the last 3 months. So, you know, definitely every race we make a mistake that we don't make the next one. I think every race win's incredibly important. You know, I think something that obviously gives us confidence today is that, you know, we managed to keep the first race relatively tight. You know, I think they probably had a pretty similar lead across the start line to what they did at the finish, and, you know, it seemed like when we did get ahead in that second race, we really managed to extend. So, you know, we're really happy with how the boat's going, and, you know, it seems to be getting faster every day, and we find new little ways of improving our technique, improving the ways we're doing things to get a bit more performance out of it. Yeah, we're really happy with the boat we've got. You know, and it's just really learning how to use it and get the best out of it. You know, it's no secret in match racing that, you know, it really helps to get off the line. And, you know, I think both races today, the race had almost been decided by the pre-start. You know, it was really down to one team to make a mistake from that point. And, you know, I think what we've got is a really close yacht race, and, you know, it's definitely shaping up to be a pretty interesting series. Oh, it's just incredible. You know, it's something that, yeah, you just love to be able to race against the best team in the world in front of your home fans on your home bit of water. And it's pretty cool to be able to get out there and, you know, sail every day. You know, I think, you know, the Italians summed it up. You know, there's so many places in the world that are in massive lockdowns at the moment, going through some pretty tough times. So, you know, to be able to have an event like this in a COVID-free environment's, you know, pretty incredible for, for a Kiwi like myself to be competing in. And I think we're also incredibly proud to be racing on home waters. Marine conservation is a massive passion of mine as well. So to be able to see that many Kiwis out there enjoying the ocean and enjoying a water sport's pretty cool also.
Awesome to hear that he answered part of my question, which you'll hear in a minute, which was about how it felt actually to be out there with his country on his shoulders effectively. He didn't get a chance to answer in the press conference, but Jimmy did, and so did Kiko. So you'll see that in just 1 minute. Speaking of, let's go to Kiko and have a listen to his words after racing today. He was short and sweet today.
Yeah, we could believe it because we have done it before and we want to do it again. It's doable. It's hard. It's not going to come for free. It's not going to be easy. But we will fight to the end. I can promise you that. I'm even more hungry than before. I want to win. I know that it's possible, and I believe that we can do it. And I'm just gonna put all my energies on doing it. I know that all my team members are gonna do the same. Well, I think Team New Zealand can say the same thing. Could have been a missed opportunity for them as well on that first race. We know that they have speed, but again, we can win races, and we could have won the second race with a better start. We just have to analyze the mistakes we did, like we have always done so far in the last months, and get stronger for tomorrow and keep fighting to the end. Yeah, good so far, but I'm not satisfied yet.
And that answer was to a question, which was, how are you feeling? You're in the America's Cup final. You've never been in the America's Cup final before. He said, I'm feeling good, but I'm not satisfied. And Pete Burling said a similar thing. Like, they know they can go out and win the races. So, yeah, it's very entertaining for me where we are at this point, because these sailors have to continue to sail as perfectly as possible. The team that makes the least mistakes from this point going forward will win the America's Cup. So there is no doubt about that, because the boat that can get off the start line with the least errors will win. So it's quite simple, really, but also exceptionally hard to execute. So, yeah, I think that the pressure as well is only going to mount each day as they go out there. They now have to win 4 races. Each of them have to win 4 races to win. It is a best to 7 series. So we could see this go another 4 days. That would be amazing. But it could all be over by Monday. By Monday it could be over if the next 4 races go to one team. So, yeah, it's amazing. There are so many variables at play, and I guess that's why I love it. It's amazing. So here is what Jimmy had to say today, and then I'll show you the question that I asked at the press conference. I'm just trying to find Jimmy's interviews from today. So we've seen Kiko, we've seen Burling. We just have Jimmy to go. He may not actually be in my folder. This is when you get to tell that I am paneling this myself. It's not a lackey. So yeah, no, I am paneling and hosting. It's a definite skill. Here's Jimmy.
Not costly. I mean, look, it just goes to show how tough the racing is out there. Pretty tough conditions, and it just takes one little split-second timing or, lack of wind, and instantly you can be on the back foot in a big way, as we saw in both starts, actually.
I mean, the Kiwis, it seems like the Kiwis are still kind of finding form. How much of a missed opportunity do you think that might have been?
For the Kiwis, you'd have to ask them.
For you, not to get them in that second race, how much of a missed opportunity was that?
Oh, you got to just take one race at a time. Both races came down to simply the start. Both boats at some point found themselves in a lot less wind, and they just couldn't accelerate and just couldn't get the boat going. And from then on, it was really a procession. I mean, it was going to take a pretty significant mistake from either team in race 1 and 2 for the other to get a pass. This one is definitely my favourite one because it's a completely different campaign for me, you know, in terms of the people and you know, where I've been based. And you're in New Zealand. I mean, look, let's face it, this is somewhat the boating capital of the world. You know, Emirates Team New Zealand, one of the best teams in the world. And here we are all deadlocked. And in today's world, people are allowed to come and view the event. You know, we're on the water, the village is open. I mean, let's face it, it really is normal life here. So we're incredibly lucky that we're able to do that. And, you know, with all those things combined, yeah, it's just, I tell you what, I just wake up every morning and think, man, what a day.
What about the intensity? I mean, you're the man holding the wheel in that starting box, which we've seen is just absolutely critical. I mean, what does that feel like for Jimmy Spittle?
Oh, it's great. It's unreal. I mean, look, that sort of anxiety and adrenaline leading into that pre-start just before you enter the box, it's, man, that's what you live for. You know, if you could bottle that up and sell it, mate, I would buy them out of stock. It's it's an incredible feeling, and it's really so addictive. That's what keeps you coming back. You know, it's just really sometimes takes you out of your comfort zone, but man, it's just amazing doing it with a good team of guys and yeah, going against the best.
Clearly loves good competition. So, without further ado, this is a bit of back info. This is from yesterday's press conference, maybe the day I think it's yesterday's press conference. Let's have a look.
You're now 2-2, and considering the conditions ahead for the weekend, do you think the Kiwis are now the underdogs?
No.
Why not?
Because they're at home.
So Jimmy mentioned the underdogs. So today, during the press conference, I asked my first question at a press conference today. I don't usually ask questions at press conferences. I usually ask them afterwards when I get to have my one-on-one interviews, which I then share with you guys. But obviously I'm not there to do that this time. So we get to see Shirley's interviews, which are good too. But I really wanted to ask this question today, and it might become apparent why in just a minute.
Thank you. Next.
Nick Douglas.
Hi guys, Douglas from Adventures of a Sailor Girl. As you said the other day, Jimmy, you believe you're the underdog, and as Aussies, we love a good underdog story. The last time we saw the cup all tied up at 3-3 was Australia 2 versus Liberty, which was a changing point for the cup. With the history tied up in this competition and the weight of both Italy and New Zealand on your shoulders, a question for everyone: how are your teams dealing with or using this energy or pressure to push your teams to a point where you can break the tie, so to speak?
Question to who?
To everyone. Jimmy can start.
Jimmy can start. Jimmy's first.
Okay, I'll start. Well, I think first of all, it's awesome to see the scorelines all squared up. I mean, from a spectacle, a sporting event, it's fantastic. It's also, I think every single day you talk about the pressures and the teams getting ready, and honestly, it's just an amazing opportunity for everyone that we can really go out there and race, because we know back in Italy, they're into lockdown. You know, they're going through some tough times, as are a lot of places in the world right now. So the fact that we can go out there and have upwards of almost 2,000 boats, people out partying and spectators, it is a very big privilege, and we don't take that for granted. But we're also, you know, we're pushing as hard as we can. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool fact that you mentioned about back in the 80s and Australia 2 and Liberty, and there's some great history. And look, let's hope this one goes down as one of the great fights again on the water. But look, we're very lucky to be out here every day, and we wake up in the morning and we think, man, how good a day is it? We get to go out against the best team in the world and fight for the cup.
Thank you. Good question.
I can only add that as far as you may think that there is an agreement between the teams, there is not. We have no agreement. We want to do the break anytime.
So there you go. I thought I'd share that one with you guys because obviously John Bertrand is a great friend of the show as well. So I was chatting with him all during the racing, and when it got to 3-3, the last time it had been 3-3 was when the Australia 2 team had gotten to that point, and I'm very privileged to talk with a lot of the Australia 2 guys while the racing is happening, so a big thanks to them for all of their insights and all that they share with me as well, which is pretty amazing. I very much love the Cup, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it progresses in my lifetime. That will be a very, very special thing. So that's all I've got for you today, except the weather. I can share the weather with you for tomorrow. The weather is looking very similar to today, actually. I'll just bring it up for you now. It's a bit further to the left, so further in the east. You can see that it's in that marginal foiling condition, which will make it interesting. It'll be probably 8 to 10 knots tomorrow, so maybe even a little bit lighter than today, but further to the left. If it's further to the left, you'd think they might think about course E again, or the course C course CD, maybe a combination. It looks a lot lighter on course A than the others, so I would be surprised if they put it there, but course B will be right under Rangitoto, so that would be very shifty and they won't get the length, so I'm guessing we'll probably see CD in that area, but don't quote me on that. That is full speculation. We'll have to see what happens. My name's Nick Douglas. It's been so special to have you with me this evening. Hope you enjoyed having a look at the close-ups of those foils. Again, thanks to Sue Bunce for that. And thanks to the America's Cup and StudioBorlenghi for the amazing images and the video that we're able to share with you. Even though I am remote, it's been fantastic to have you joining me once again. And you can follow us on our social media channels. You might be watching on Facebook. This is our Facebook channel. On Instagram, we're also posting updates there on our stories, especially during racing. Twitter, we're live tweeting the racing. We're also live on Clubhouse, or you might be watching on YouTube. If you are, a big shout out there. Thank you so much, everyone. Once again, I'll see you guys tomorrow. 3-3. Oh, so good. Love it.